Okay, so today here, seperti biasa, ada Maman and ada me, Aisyah. So, what's the topic that we are going to talk about today? First of all, so how are you, Maman? Sihat?
Maman sihat.
Terbaik. Okay. So, okay, let's get
Aisyah
into
sihat.
our... Sihat weh.
Okay, bagus.
Okay. So right now we are going to talk about topic today, toxic masculinity and femininity. Okay.
Enjoy.
So yeah, toxic masculinity. Do you think like is a thing right now these days? Faham tak? Sebab you know how macam dulu kan lain very different and generations changes a lot of things and so do you think like that is actually a thing? This toxic femininity and masculinity? In your opinion lah.
Mama rasa as we grow older kan, macam future generation kita ni dia macam dah realise that macam a man shouldn't like macam act a certain way as macam kena masculine je, kena gagah je, macam our generation like slowly accepting it. But I think yang macam generation yang macam tua-tua sikit ni macam dia apa tu? They tend to still have this kind of mindset yang lelaki kena tak boleh nangis, lelaki kena gagah macam all that. Macam we as a generation kita, generation Y kan, kita accept this like it's okay to macam be who you are, but these days benda tu macam takut macam we are going to talk about it because takut macam benda ni macam dia terbawa-bawa daripada parents dia ke anak dia, faham tak?
Yeah, benda tu, yeah, it's kind of common juga because yelah, we don't live in the same generation and we don't go through what our parents go through, right? And so, like, let's go with the definition for this toxic masculinity and femininity. So we're going to talk about, first of all, is like toxic masculinity. Masculinity is kind of like balik-balik macam mana it has a standard where manliness in people, in men, dia akan been apa nak cakap? Macam mana nak cakap? It's been viewed it's been like orang nampak manliness ni in terms of strength, lack of emotion, self-sufficiency where dia perlu stand seorang je, orang lain tak boleh tolong dia and because of that they have to be very dominant and this is actually like benda macam ni macam it's not really good to the extent that it will affect you and that is why it's called toxic masculinity, right? And cuba like Maman, as a guy, do you feel like benda ni you and men ada rasa benda ni, faham tak macam ni?
Mama rasa macam there's like small little things yang Mama rasa macam stupid. Contohnya macam a man cannot cry. That's something stupid. Dia kena macam sakit sikit je. Kenapa nak nangis, faham tak macam tu? And then macam lelaki tak boleh pakai warna pink. Those kind of stuff. And then macam it's just a colour to begin with. And lelaki dia kena jadi boss, dia tak boleh jadi dia tak boleh bawah sikit. Kalau dia tak jadi boss, nanti macam ayah dia nanti macam pandang rendah kat dia ke kawan-kawan dia pandang rendah kat dia. I think that's kind of stuff yang macam needs to be stopped, you know, macam this kind of toxic environment yang orang pressure men to be so masculine yang it's actually impossible to reach. What about you, Aisyah? What do you define about female toxic femininity?
When like apa tu, when you said like laki kena jadi boss kan, that kind of like macam it realised me that toxic masculinity ni also affects to toxic femininity because where macam girls these days like macam bukan baru-baru ni pun dia jadi an issue like how there's an opinion where dia kata perempuan should not be the same level as guys and for someone yang macam we girls these days career is one of our top priority, and macam and like and kalau kita like you know, as a woman, you try your best for your career, but also at the end of the day, like you can't be to a certain extent, and you can't go to a certain level just because of this mentality. Okay, benda tu is like it's not something really nice, and macam cause macam what is our rights, faham tak? And yeah, this toxic masculinity and femininity ni, dia bukan through like laki dengan perempuan or perempuan ke laki, macam tu. Is both ways. Dia macam laki dengan perempuan, laki dengan laki juga, perempuan dengan perempuan juga. And that is why macam if like benda ni, if you see like mula dia start from one side, perempuan dengan perempuan. And if benda macam lagi terus jadi, of course dia akan affect another gender. And that word that you said just now is like really literally like one of the good examples of like macam how this affects to another gender. And duduk rumah as a housewife is not macam macam mana pula dengan orang yang tak pursue dengan career dia, tak pun. But it's like macam mana perempuan yang housewife ni pun is, I think like they are worthy to be salute, you know, because it's not easy. Macam your mom kerja tak?
Kerja?
Yeah, macam since kau kecil lah kan. Yeah, and macam we all see how much like mothers ni, dia try to pull the family together kan. So like benda tu I think like for a woman macam dia housewife and dia like trying dia punya best to hold the family together, that's still something really great, you know, because macam being a housewife pun macam is really hard. Kita patut view dorang sama je dengan ada housewife ni, because being a housewife pun is not easy.
Betul. I think people are being prejudiced towards women yang kerja, contohnya yang perempuan yang lady boss, diorang akan macam oh, you shouldn't be a boss, faham tak? Macam sebab kau ni too emotional, kau ni too and that. And then and then if they are housewife, they aren't getting that appreciation yang diorang sepatutnya dapat.
Betul juga betul juga, like macam
macam kat mana-mana perempuan pergi, dia akan still macam rasa macam perempuan ni should macam be lower than men. So macam and they're not appreciated, right? Macam
it's like at the end of the day, both genders dia nak orang punya rights. Apa dia, equal rights. And okay, bila cakap macam ni, I notice like macam tak cakap pula pasal toxic femininity. So what is toxic femininity is also same as standards like macam mana toxic masculinity tadi, where kita view men only for dia punya manliness daripada dia punya strength, lack of emotions, like how dulu like how they portray heroes, where dia seorang, dia kuat, dia tak menangis, tak apa. Same goes as perempuan, like toxic femininity is like the standards where like perempuan kena always cantik, perempuan kena flawless, perempuan tak boleh ada like
perempuan tak ada career.
Perempuan tak ada career. And like apa tu, like macam you know, like macam kalau makan kena like yes, kita kena jadi sopan santun, tapi like macam sampai to the extent like perempuan kena jaga gila, like perempuan ni have to be very perfect lah pada dorang. Macam as a woman, like you need to be beauty, cantik, pandai apa semua, but also at the same time when we macam kita try to live to that expectation, that's also that standard, but at the end of the day when you grow better and then tiba-tiba je you go out to the world, then the world says like macam, hey no, you should be under men's. Faham tak? Benda tu, that is totally toxic femininity. And even like from what we search, and we read about this toxic femininity and toxic masculinity. One of the toxic femininity traits, I think like this is dulu lah, mostly dulu. Like kalau you have a baby, orang dulu dia have a baby perempuan, dia akan tindik baby tu in like a month old ke apa. I'm not even sure boleh ke a month old. Tak adalah secepat tu. Maybe dia macam besar sikit lah. Tapi macam kira macam in baby tu punya baby period macam tu, dia akan tindikkan dia because that is an macam perhiasan untuk perempuan, faham tak? So you imagine you ni baby je, kenapa tiba-tiba like macam you have to live macam belum apa-apa orang dah put up to that standard. So macam perempuan dia kena berhias, selalu berhias and lawa, faham tak? Oh wow, when I
Even
think of
being a
that,
baby is quite a responsibility. To look cantik. Oh my god, a baby.
weh kesiannya, macam baby dia tak buat apa-apa pun kena tindik tu dah. Alah, macam perempuan do tindik macam ada je yang tak, but I'm surprised to macam jumpa benda ni, cause macam for us perempuan kita tak realise pun like macam as this macam orang buat tu because macam perhiasan macam bukan perhiasan, like macam in the baby period lah, I mean like macam we see that as normal. You imagine that we have normalized benda-benda macam ni, faham tak?
Yeah, and then I
So,
think kan macam kan yang ni common issue untuk perempuan kan. For me common issue macam untuk lelaki pula is that lelaki macam walaupun dia tengah membesar, tak reach puberty lagi, orang suruh macam kenapa dia kurus sangat, kenapa dia keding, dia tak makan ke, faham tak? They have to look masculine. Walaupun umur dia 8 atau 10 tahun. I mean, faham tak? Yang standard yang macam people put this standard on men juga to look macam in a certain way in order to be manly. Padahal macam he is growing up. He is still macam still have like macam kena makan lagi, macam I mean ada face yang membesar macam tak reach puberty lagi, but people put pressure on men to macam you have to pergi, you kena workout supaya you ada muscle sikit nanti macam ni, and then people put macam slur or macam kau ni terlalu keding ke, nanti kau ni angin tiup, nanti macam kau ni betul ke lelaki perempuan, kau kurus kenapa kau ada tight gap macam tu, faham tak? Benda macam why do you have to touch on physical stuff, like same goes to women, right? Macam why do you have to macam perempuan kalau nak cantik kena macam kena kurus. Baru lelaki suka. Faham tak?
yeah. Betul tu benda tu. Macam throughout my growing period kan, I have this one cousin laki, dia memang lagi tua daripada kita orang tau, but throughout dia punya macam growing stage dia memang kurus gila, like how you said lah, macam dia memang like dia really thin, tight, skinny lah, dia really skinny. And macam time tu we had no idea that macam is benda tu like dia bukan the fact that dia tak akan membesar, is dia akan membesar, cuma dia belum sampai the age where dia akan besar, faham tak? So and then macam when I think back where people macam cakap tengok ni kurusnya macam tu kan, I feel like macam looking back at that time, macam apa salah dia jadi kurus, faham tak? Dia bukan tak makan, dia makan je. And sekarang dia dah besar, okay je, tak ada pun macam like apa tu, tak adalah macam tak makan and kurus sangat to the extent that dia affect dia punya health ke apa, faham tak? Dia just sihat je sampai sekarang.
It's just the standard yang people macam kenapa dia tak tinggi lagi, faham tak? Macam they will, but macam boleh tak macam we don't have to macam put this pressure on people to look certain way. It's not good lah. I think this is dah masuk macam mental health people kan, macam the more people buat macam ni, the more mental health dia akan macam effect, you know, macam nanti dia grow up thinking that he is not masculine enough, nanti dia grow up thinking he is not enough, nanti dia grow up thinking she is not pretty enough. These kind of things yang macam I'm hoping that the listeners are macam will also feel that macam relate, and also macam learn that we cannot do this to our future generation, you know. saying that they have to look in a certain way in order to look masculinity or in order to or look femininity. Faham tak?
Yeah.
You don't have to wear
And
makeup to look pretty, you know. Faham tak? Macam people say macam kenapa
oh,
tak pakai makeup? Kenapa makeup macam ni? Faham tak? Pakai makeup salah, tak pakai makeup pun salah. So stupid.
dia like apa kita cakap ni, dia dah masuk like common issues of this toxic femininity and masculinity, also how it affects our mental health tau. And macam kita dah go through lelaki tadi where they have to be strong and kurus. Macam time tu even like time tu dia membesar dia kurus pun bukanlah salah, tapi macam it's like people, benda tu pun people point it out, faham tak? Macam it should not be a problem lah. Lepas tu if like for perempuan, kalau macam most of the common issues, makeup is very general. Some people pakai, some people tak pakai. But for those yang tak pakai, it's not wrong. Tak salah. Macam don't be pressured because you don't wear makeup. And for those yang if they feel pressure because I'm not pretty enough, maybe it's because I'm not wearing makeup. Hell nah. Hold that. You are pretty because you are confident. That's enough. And like for like do you notice like there's a certain fashion where perempuan like mostly they have to keep to the standards, like macam contoh if like someone doesn't like wearing skirts and perempuan is macam yelah perempuan je yang boleh pakai skirts kan, so macam people see that as macam kenapa macam you nampak macam tomboy sebab you asyik pakai seluar, faham tak?
Or macam
And
dia rambut pendek ke apa. I think people tu lah merepek.
and macam I get a lot of macam a lot of times where macam dulu aku pun tak suka pakai kain. Aku pun macam it's normal lah, macam you have your own preference of fashion, faham tak? But it doesn't mean that you're less femininity or even men sendiri, faham tak? It doesn't mean like you tak pakai this certain fashion it affects your person, it affects you as a macam living your own gender, faham tak? And benda ni yelah it affects a lot on perempuan, especially those yang macam baju tu satu very common lah, baju rambut asal dia potong like boy cut tu ke macam lebih pendek ke, orang dah macam tomboynya. And I think like for some people yang macam dah rasa the fact that macam dia ada the boyish character kan, dia pun akan terus macam aku kan lelaki sikit so aku potong lah rambut pendek, faham tak? I think like macam no, it doesn't define you, faham tak? Macam what defines you is your personality. It's not apa you pakai. It's not you can it's not like you are not being defined as a woman if the only thing that you do is speak softly. You can speak softly but be rude as hell. Would you consider yourself as a good woman, faham tak?
It's all about personality sebenarnya, and their actions. It's never about physical appearance ataupun macam physical appearance lah.
And
macam how does it affect mental health for women?
For women and insecurities is a lot. I can see like this sounds wrong, but I do feel like this is the reality where insecurities are considered normal, faham tak? Tapi this is men's and women's pun sama lah, but mostly like I think like more insecure perempuan. Maybe because we do macam balik-balik macam mana pun perempuan have the trait of macam emotions tu like I don't know if we say like kita ada lebih emotions or like we are more capable of lumrah the fact that perempuan dia rasa lagi these insecurities and some people like dia really insecurities dia really hunts dia, faham tak? And benda tu like
I think it's
susah.
because of this thing lah. Sebab this kind of
Yeah.
macam standard that is being put to women yang buatkan dia lagi insecure. I think women in general aren't insecure, but when we put this certain standard towards them yang macam lagikan teruk this kind of insecure yang macam in a woman, you know.
Yeah, it's like susah lah you nak go live every day just knowing that macam I have to be pretty macam orang ni. I have to be pretty to these standards. It's exhausting to be honest, and at the same time macam you mesti nak your own time where you embrace yourself, faham tak? And I think like for people yang dia rasa dia have these insecurities and dia macam tak tahu nak handle, I would advise you like first of all, embrace your insecurity. You have to admit the fact that you have insecurities and bukan the fact that macam nanti lagi aku admit benda ni nanti lagi aku layan. No. To solve a problem, you have to acknowledge that there is a problem. Faham tak? So I think like if like women's ke men's ke tak kisahlah. But if you feel insecure, first of all like acknowledge benda tu and set like macam okay I have this insecurity, what am I insecure about, and what then you can go on like macam okay what I'm gonna do about it. If you are insecure just because of people punya expectations and standards, just know that the world is forever not gonna be fair. So just live the way you want to be. Macam tu lah.
Betul.
That's when
I think macam you just like macam you have to live your life the way you want, because at the end of the day people are still gonna judge you whether you are perfect or not. Faham tak?
Ya,
Macam
betul.
kau pakai ni pun salah, kau pakai ni pun salah, because people will always have this, dia ada macam, I think it's because beauty and the way people behave is subjective, you know. Macam some
Yeah.
people like lelaki yang macam ni, some people like lelaki yang macam ni. So and then how they talk apa, it's all subjective. It's towards people punya personality. So at the end of the day, just macam it doesn't matter what people say to you, it's the way you act. If you act in a good way, you will be macam respected and you will be macam will be liked. But if you act like
Yeah.
macam you have a very apa tu nasty personality and attitude, people tak suka lah. And it's never about your appearance ke apa. It's about your attitude, you know.
Betul-betul. Benda ni semua yang apa yang kita cakap ni is more on the physical stuff. Personality is something very different lah. Kita nak cakap one of the examples that I really want to point out is that macam how to make you more understand about toxic masculinity and femininity is where macam kalau you tengok dalam movie, it's like kalau toxic masculinity where dia punya protagonist hero dia mesti like the loner, lone ranger, emotionless, strong, tough. Dia akan portraykan macam tu. But do know that having someone to support you is not wrong. And sometimes you go stronger when you are with, macam mana? You will go stronger with someone, faham tak?
Betul.
I really like the quote saying that you can walk okay jap aku ingat balik ayat dia. You can walk fast if you walk alone, but if you walk together you go far. Faham tak ayat tu?
Faham?
So like if I'm not saying that dia lone ranger okay tak tu toxic, tak. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that if you been pressured to reach that standard and if you are already macam you are a loner but you don't feel good about it, then just prioritize yourself and get yourself some company lah macam tu. And kalau for toxic femininity, the heroine, as I said just now, dia mesti flawless, dia mesti incredibly beautiful and powerful and okay if you macam perempuan biasalah perempuan nak cantik. But don't be too pressure about it. Benda-benda ni semua macam it's not worth it lah. Macam you being pressured just because you want to be pretty, just because you want people to view you more as a woman. Your personality, it will get you somewhere, faham tak?
Betul.
It's not by benda-benda macam ni. Yeah, itulah dia.
I think the way to fight this is by have confidence in yourself, no matter what people say. Contohnya macam, you cannot be this, you have to be this because you're just a woman. Faham tak? Contohnya,
Yeah.
janganlah macam ambil kisah pasal orang cakap
Kalau for like for me before I forgot, everything that we said, benda ni is kita orang ada baca juga. Macam kita baca a lot of articles and we discuss about this a lot before we say it. So the way of dealing this is that kalau women lah in our workplace, don't cut other women's punya conversation, faham tak? Especially in like discussions, include everyone equally, men's, women's, and don't cut their ideas. Just because someone gives a way better idea than you, it doesn't mean that you're going down. It's you're going higher together in a team. And if you feel like macam, memang kita naik tapi dia akan dapat more recognition. No, you are in the same team. So you akan naik sekali. A team doesn't work a team is not something that works individually. If the team tu dia memang dia tekat at that rank, you tak akan tiba-tiba you seorang je kat bawah, tak. So you, kalau you rasa like you are a part of that team, help each other. Don't cut any women's to women's ke women's to men to women, sama je. Include everyone as at workplace, as this happens, this toxic femininity happens a lot in workplace and also most importantly, perempuan, beauty standards are just standards that
marah.
bukan aku bukan marah. I'm not mad people. I'm just saying that macam beauty standards tu kita tak payah ikut pun, faham tak? Your beauty standards is your standards, faham tak? And don't be too pressured about it lah. It doesn't mean that you punya rambut pendek you less feminine. You tak selesa pakai kain. You suka pakai seluar is less feminine. No, that's totally not. And macam one of the and another thing that I would like to say is that women jangan be afraid of how much and what do you eat, faham tak? Yes, we have to live healthy and eat healthy, but it doesn't mean that you have to be ashamed of how much you consume, faham tak? Some people dia memang dia kena makan contoh dia kena makan portion banyak sikit untuk dia nak rasa kenyang, and just do so. Tak payahlah rasa macam aku makan banyak tapi macam I'm a girl and I eat a lot. There's nothing wrong benda tu. Makan je lah, faham tak? And kalau orang yang makan sikit, but people like macam you makan sikit sebab you ni lah dah jaga your femininity. Janganlah takut orang cakap macam tu, faham tak? Kalau you makan sikit, makan je lah sikit. Nanti lapar makan balik, apa salahnya kan? So like I see a lot of people like for women yang dia feel like dia bukan ashamed tapi dia macam dia feel the pressure of dia kena control of apa dia makan. If they control for good, healthy and good reasons, okay. But for those yang macam ashamed about that in a toxic way, I'm just saying that that's not right and you should not be ashamed. And yeah, tu for perempuan. Kalau lelaki, aku bagi jugalah opinion aku kan. For men's, how to avoid this is like having since like toxic masculinity is being viewed lelaki kena seorang kan, I would probably put out there like asking some help or even like asking some company is not a form of weakness. Faham tak?
Betul.
It just means that you are a human. So macam tak salah pun macam to have that emotions and janganlah rasa macam you tak ada emotions. And for men's this tau, tapi I don't know how to interpret. I don't know how to interpret this. It's like macam you don't have to be macam mana? You don't have to put that macam I'm a man card in front of perempuan sangat, faham tak? Yeah, you are a man. If you are macam you dah memang lelaki, so you nak pull out lagi the fact that macam hey I'm the man card kan, nanti dia akan, you sendiri akan rasa macam benda tu, you akan pressured by benda tu. And also for a woman, in my opinion, like benda tu it does not macam mana, it does not impress. It's not attractive, it's not impressive pun. Just be you, just be the man of your standards. Be yourself. Ni lah, tak payah nak kena kuat juga, kena apa juga. Tak, macam tak kuat in terms of macam ni lah, like macam nak beri, nak tunjuk, faham tak? Macam tu lah, the excessiveness. I think like that's all what I want to say, like how to overcome benda ni. And yeah, at the end of the day, everything yang kita cakap ni, like benda tu okay, but bukan benda tu okay macam, I'm not saying okay macam mana ke apa, like femininity and masculinity ni memang dia ada standards dia and all, but if you're macam benda tu tak payah ikut sangat, macam tu lah. But if you are macam excessiveness of where you terlebih macam terlampau nak ikut, that it affects you a lot, tu benda tu salah lah, faham tak? So yeah, at the end of the day, this toxic masculinity and femininity ni, if you want to fight this, if like one day kalau you're dealing with benda ni, yes, benda ni memang susah because it's a mentality, a standards that people letak, faham tak? And people yang letak tu is daripada dulu. So most likely right now yang akan have this mentality is macam our parents ke, our aunts ke apa, yang macam balik tengok, mama, ya Allah, kenapa kurus sangat, tak makan ke, faham tak? Macam tu lah. So macam so benda tu, yes, susah kita nak hadap benda tu sebab dorang don't have the, macam dorang tak ada this much awareness.
I think macam you cannot change them, but you can change yourself.
Macam tu.
So start from yourself lah. You have to stop macam betul, inherit this kind of behaviour and doing it to your own child.
The first thing that you wanna do untuk overcome benda ni is remove that mindset. That mindset and standards lah, benda tu. Mana tahu the more you accept the way you are going to feel more confident, faham tak?
Memang
the more you accept yourself, you're going to be more confident. So yeah, tak rugi pun. Betul tak?
Betul. So I guess there's a lot more to talk about it, but macam kita orang tak nak bebel sampai 45 minit. So I think that's all from us. So Aisyah, ada apa last words?
Any much last words is just that I would like to put it out there that COVID makin teruk, and I have a few friends right now struggling, and recently ada lost dia punya precious person because of COVID ni. So benda ni bukan main-main. Stay safe wherever you are, and it's easy to pull out the card of macam orang ni salah, that's why this is happen. There's no use of pointing out fingers right now. Just focus on the solution where kita sendiri kena make sure that we are safe. And for those yang tengah dengar, I hope you jaga, and yeah, before let's stay home and stay safe. Okay, tu je.
I think one of my batchmate time high school pun have lost dia punya ayah juga because of COVID. I'm not sure if
Yeah.
it's COVID ke apa. But people are macam dying kot. Macam memang those numbers are real. Like 5,000 per day cases every day, single day. Bayangkan satu week je dah sampai 35,000. That's a lot in a week to have cases. And then hospital pun tamat. So I think kita jaga diri kita sendiri and jaga people around us. Don't be selfish keluar, you know. Jangan selfish keluar apa and then macam la. Just know that you staying home, you are playing your part juga. So spread awareness to stay at home, and you guys can I have found this quote: if you are bored, means that you're a boring person. So just find anything that just find anything yang macam makes you rasa macam entertain, you know. Do your hobbies, read some books, stay educated, and yeah, enjoy yourself. Jangan stress sangat duduk rumah. I think duduk rumah you can do a lot of stuff.
Tapi I just want to put it out there. Since macam recently ada my friend dia parents mak dia baru meninggal, and I join macam mana? I join dia punya macam bacaan Yasin apa semua kan. And then time tu dia ada cakap ni. For those listeners yang Islam, dia cakap sini. One of the way untuk nak elakkan bala is through sedekah. So yeah, I'm just pulling out the badakat right now and just say like if you feel like things are a bit hard ke apa right now, you might want to try to sedekah in any form that you can do. Okay, that's all.
Okay.
Alright.
Okay, Maman will always letak link down below for donation if you guys want to donate. And then dah tu je kan, Syah?
Yeah, itu je. So that's gonna wrap it up for our episode today. Stay tuned and
bosan-bosan dengarlah podcast ni.
Yeah, and hope you guys will join us for our next episode. Bye.
Bye.
On the next Night Scoop podcast.
It's like, okay lah, yang penting is like our presence right now. It is only kita ada sekarang je. Lepas ni, tomorrow ke, in fact like 5 minutes later is, bila kita tengok balik tadi tu, is just gonna be our past, right?
I don't want to be stressing my life. So macam Mama macam terasa juga. And then macam it's not that I don't want to work. It's like I want to work at my own pace.